Week 2 of the high school football season closing in fast. We've got a lot of good games coming up here this weekend, and we'll start off with Westwood Lake Travis, one of the better games on Friday night. Danny, we'll start with you. What are you looking for in this game? I'm
looking for poor Rick over here. He's covering the game, and there's going to be so many passes in this game. He might get it. He might file the story by about 12:30. But I'm picking Westwood in this game. Bear Fenimore. He had a pretty good game against Bowie. I know they lost by double digits, which probably explains why he was throwing the ball so much, but threw for over 500 yards. Josh Bishop in that game really emerged as a good, solid wide receiver to go with Travis Dale and a couple other weapons they have. So I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, and I think Westwood's going to win by 3.
And Rick, you will be in attendance. How do you see this game shaking up?
I'm going to be there for at least 4 hours. I know that in advance. But I'm going to go Lake Travis by 7. One thing I noticed in their line score last week, they only gave up 110 yards passing to a pretty good New Braunfels Canyon team. And Lake Travis, their defense right now is probably better than their offense. So I see them as not shutting down Westwood, but I think it could be a high-scoring game.
The next game on our slate, Leander at Manor. Leander on the receiving end of a 52-0 blowout from Hendrickson last week. Manor coming into that game 2-0. Rick, will stay with you. How do you look at this game?
I see Manor. You know, I've joked around before that they've got the horses, but they really do. They can score on you. I wasn't very impressed with Leander. They're weak on the defense and offensive line. They've got some skill guys, just not enough to get over the hump. I don't see them being a big-time playoff contender this year. I take Manor.
Danny?
Yeah, I think the problem with a lot of these non-district games is it's really tough to measure if a team is real or not. But I think this is a game that is going to decide it. Manor, their first 2 games, I would not say Wicker University and Colleen Ellison are the best 2 teams that that anyone could face. So who knows if Manor is really a 2-0 team. Whereas in Leander, we don't really know if they're as bad as they were last week. Henderson might be a state championship contender, so if that happens, that loss might be excused a little bit. So I think this game's going to just tell us a lot about these 2 teams. I think Manor's going to win in a close one. Tyrone Owens, great running back for Manor. Datrin Guyton, one of their wide receivers, has really come on. He has 8 catches this year, 5 have been for touchdowns. So I think Manor's going to win this game. I think they're going to answer a lot of questions, and I think we'll be able to still see some good things out of Leander, but I think they're going to drop to 1 and 2.
Okay, Danny, will stay with you. Up next, Marble Falls 1-1, traveling to 2-0 Burnett. How do you see this game?
I'm going to go with the 3A school. This is a fun rivalry for those teams. They are located really close to each other. I know Marble Falls is a 4A team, 2 good quarterbacks in both teams. I think Burnett is a little bit more balanced. Derek Kaiser's a good quarterback. He has a few good wide receivers to throw to. Trenton Hampley, his running back, has 2 straight 100-yard gains, and Austin Huff is an all-Centex kicker and should be an all-Centex, or he was an all-Central Texas punter last year. Should be an all-Centex kicker. So good all-around team.
Right, and Rick?
I see this as one of the highest scoring games of the weekend. I noticed that Burnett gave up 410 yards passing last week. Passing is Marble Falls' strength, so I see Marble Falls winning a shootout.
All right, and we'll go right down the list to our final game that we're previewing today. Vista Ridge at Elgin, battle of 2 2-0 teams. Rick, how do you see this one?
Obviously, it's a good game. I'm going to take Elgin. The Simmons brothers, Datrion, I hope I said that right, and Terrell Simmons, they combined for 280 yards rushing last week, and Datrion had a 99-yard kickoff return. They're just sensational. They're hard to stop. I even picked them over Georgetown in that district before the season started. I'm going to stick with it, but a good football game, Elgin.
And Danny?
I'm going to go back and say what I said earlier about not really being able to measure teams. Vista Ridge has looked really good in these first 2 games. Their last 23, their defense, their last 23 times on the field, they haven't allowed a point, but they've also been playing LBJ and Bastrop. Elgin, on the other hand, has outscored their opponents 104-13, but it's been Brian Rutter and Lehman.
Right.
And so these are 2 good teams that are going to play each other. I think we're going to be able to see a lot about these 2 teams. And as I said earlier, I'm going to go with the 17 4A teams. So I'm going to pick Elgin in this one.
All right, looks to be another great slate of football around the Centex area. Make sure you check back with Statesman.com throughout the weekend to get all our coverage of all the action. We'll see you.